Hi there, what's up? My name is Jill Nabena. Thanks for joining my channel where I have curated through lots of free online resources that can be used in or not in a classroom. In today's video, I'm going to be highlighting GimKit Creative. GimKit is one of my absolute favorite, not even just one of mine, it is the students' absolute favorite game to play in class. Now, there is a different sector of GimKit called GimKit Creative where you can make your entire new game. I'm going to show you 3 awesome ways you can utilize this tool in this video. The first thing you will need to do is go to gimkit.com and create an account if you have not already done so. I highly recommend you check out my other video on GimKit, which will be linked at the end of this video, that shows you how I like to utilize GimKit for gaming in my classroom. The story behind GimKit is a very inspiring one to share with your students, but in today's video, we're primarily focused on the creative aspect. Go ahead, log in, make your own account. Then once you've done that, go to gimkit.com/creative. Okay, once you enter that backsplash, this is where you're at. I highly recommend starting the tutorial for the first time. Anytime you have kids log in here, definitely have them do the tutorial because I could spend hours and hours and hours going over the details of GimKit Creative and how much there is to do. But you can also receive the Blueprint Gym for free. It's funny because the more you play this game, your kids are going to get so into collecting gims so that they can elevate their little characters instead of just being that little, I don't know what it's called. I guess it's called a gim, but it's like an oval with little legs. Anyways, let's get into the video. Let's do a brief overview as to what GimKit Creative is before I tell you the 3 ways that I like to use it. So I'm going to click a new map. I can name my map example top down. So this lets players move in all 4 directions, or platformer. This is where they move left, right, but can also jump. These are awesome ways. Let's look at top down first and create a game. If you're familiar with GimKit, you will recognize the platform immediately. The first thing I'll want to do is come over to options, editing options, and zoom all the way out. It's easier for me to see what all is going on. You can show a grid or not show the grid. I don't generally do any of those editing settings. This side is going to have all of your options. This side is going to have all the goodies. You can add your own terrain, asphalt. Please notice that it defaults to wall. That has thrown me off so many times. But I can make this little road and I can run it over here. Okay, that's like a boring floor. I can make the brush size bigger. I can make my floor enormous. Okay, and I can make a whole little map. Then I can put walls around my flooring on the terrain as well. I can click to wall. It's going to be all the same options. Look at how many options we have here. It's remarkable. You can make a theme. Then we have the devices. So starting devices, something you'll need for every map. These are things that I will make a video on eventually, but also just using the GimKit Creative tutorial is an awesome way to see about this. The first way that I like to use GimKit Creative is for allowing students to create challenges within the classroom. You will be surprised, especially in an enrichment setting, how many students are looking to stump their teacher and stump their peers. So I will allow students the opportunity to go on GimKit Creative and make their own questions on whatever content we're learning or have learned, and we will play their games. Obviously, preview their games before you let anyone else play them, but I'll let them to do this, and they get really excited when they're able to stump the class, stump their friends, or even stump me. So that is the first way I love to create a good challenge, and it's always fun to gamify whatever you can. The second way that I like to use GimKit Creative is for collaboration. This is such an awesome opportunity. Think Google Docs, where I can type on the sheet and you can type on the sheet and I'm seeing everything all at once. GimKit Creative works the same way. You can have multiple people, even an entire class, working on the same board. So if you can divvy this up within a group project, assign everyone different roles, assign them different sections to make. Although I will warn you, GimKit Creative, you can only upload 5 different question banks on a free version. So that means You probably don't want to make too big of a group because then you can only input 5 different question banks within the GimKit platform. If you're confused about what a question bank is, I highly recommend you watch my other video on GimKit where you can see more or less what the platform looks like. You definitely want to be versed in GimKit regular, the pre-made games or games that you've made there before you start into the GimKit Creative. I think the collaboration piece is so much fun. My students love working together. You definitely get your groups where everyone's assigned a task and then they kind of go their own ways, but you also get really meaningful collaboration between students where they're challenging each other, they're adding things, they're being creative. It's such a fun way to allow the students to collaborate. The third way that I like to use GimKit Creative is through SEL learning, through social emotional learning. So I often will use this in an advisory type of setting where I'll let little groups of 4 or 5 get together and collaborate. So kind of hinging on number 2 of what I like about GimKit Creative, and they will make a room that represents who they are, and then they will link their question bank on questions related to them. It's a wonderful way as an icebreaker to get to know each other. You can even use this as a staff development tool where they can become well versed in GimKit while also learning about the people that they're working with. This is a wonderful tool for social emotional type of learning. You can do that in a way where they're getting to know each other. You could also do it on maybe a stick that you covered on SEL, focusing on executive functioning skills, all sorts of really awesome ways you can use GimKit Creative. Okay, I'm going to highlight just a few things. Once again, it's really important that you go through that tutorial, but under the settings options, you'll see there are so many options here. Make sure if you are using this as a collaborate feature that you click on options, you scroll down to permissions, and every time you log in, you'll have to change this to editing, removing, adding. This will allow everyone who is adding and collaborating together to edit the page, which is really nice tool. When you come over here, this is where I like to add my terrain. I'm going to go ahead and add a boardwalk. You can see I'm perhaps creating a room. I can click and drag the flooring. I'll quickly show you how you can link in a question bank because that's obviously going to be the most important tool. I'm telling you, your students are going to blow you away with how incredible of a game they can make. I mean, call me old school, but I could sit here for hours and not make something as awesome that they can come up with in 10 minutes. The first thing, in order to get a questioner, you would click the add button. You'll come to devices. You'll scroll all the way down. It's so funny that it's so far down. But as you begin to use things, it knows. So I'm going to click questioner, and then here I get this little questioner, and there it is. So then I have to open a secondary tab with my GimKit. I was already in here, and I searched the one that I had made, Mrs. Nabena. So if I click on that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click share, and I'm going to copy that code that's in there. Then I'm going to go back to my creative. I'm going to click on the button where I am linked, and then I'm going to put that code right there. When the answer is question, so now I can pretend like I'm starting the game. Obviously, this is like the worst game you've ever seen. Wait, did I make that a wall? I really did. Okay, such a rookie mistake. I made all of my flooring walls, specifically like I told you not to at the beginning. Obviously. I still have some learning to do. But anyways, I want you to see what the questions look like. I literally was telling you at the beginning not to make them floors. So once you come up to the questioner, it's like, answer question. And you're like, what's your favorite cereal? And it's granola? Correct. What is my ideal vacation? Is it camping? Incorrect. So then this is how students can do their trial and error. So they're like, no, okay, I want different music. And then they come to end, they come to restore map, and then they can come back to their settings to figure out exactly. They're like, oh, you know what? I didn't really like that there was a game clock. I didn't really like the creative funk. I want hip hop music. So there are so many things to discover on GimKit Creative, like seriously, an infinite amount of things. I feel like they just keep adding things. It's all free. It's incredible. The students love it, especially your students who really just like that coding experience and the gaming experience. I think this is really fun for them. So give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if you want more tutorials on GimKit Creative because I can make more. I just want to know if you're going to watch it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Ta-ta!